You were about 250 pounds at the time that you joined KT.
Well, I weighed myself one morning. It was like 185. I've had rotator cuff surgery. I had a knee that was really giving me trouble. And they're like, there's really nothing we can do other than a knee replacement.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I can't do this.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Kettlebell Guys podcast. I have a very special guest with me today, David Schram. I just found out, not Scram, but David is joining us from, I think, Minneapolis. Am I right about that? Or somewhere in the Minnesota area?
Bemidji.
Bemidji. Okay, we're going to have to figure out where that is on a map. But in Minnesota.
Four hours north of Minneapolis.
That seems very far north in the United States.
It is.
Nice, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, I can't wait to hear about your story because, you've achieved a pretty remarkable transformation in I think, a little over a year that you've been in KT.
Yep.
And I've been watching really closely. You've been one of those guys who's just been just super consistent, posting in the school group, cheering other guys on. And when someone does that, I'm always paying really close attention. So I'm excited to hear about your journey. I got some questions laid out, but we'll just have a good, honest chat and see where we take things. Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, we already know where you're from now, but just fill me in on the details. What's your name? How old are you? What's your life look like?
David Schram. I'm 60 years old. I'm a dentist. I've been a dentist for 33 years. Bemidji is about an hour and a half from the Canadian border.
Okay.
So
I've
lived here for 33 years.
Amazing.
It was 23 degrees this morning still.
What?
I know, it's like spring will not come. But a little bit of my story, probably 20 years ago, I had, gotten into fitness a little bit. I mean, I've never been like an athlete all through, high school, college. But anyway, I was doing a couple triathlons, which were different here. It was a bike canoe run, like 50 miles.
Okay.
So I was pretty fit, doing a lot of biking and stuff, but then I had a rotator cuff injury and I kind of fell off on doing some of that stuff. And slowly the weight went up and I wasn't doing anything about it. And had a couple other injuries along the way that were limiting, mobility and things like that. And I think, I had looked at some things online and you sign up for something and really not do anything with it, just being kind of lazy. And anyway, probably a year and a half somehow I'd come across this kettlebell thing. And I think Grant had posted something, and I don't know really how I saw it on Facebook or somewhere on social media. Somebody else had inquired or had a question. So I was kind of following that and asked a question, and I thought, they're not going to get a hold of me. Then I get a message in Messenger, I think from Grant, asking me some history, a few questions. And I don't remember if I talked to him a couple times. And then he set me up with a talk with Rich, I believe.
Yeah.
And I decided to give the 16-week thing a try and got hooked up with Ray, and kind of the rest is history. So, but I had no kettlebell training, really never had a personal coach or anything like that. So that was all new too. I was a bit skeptical at first. I'm guessing you have other guys that are skeptical.
Yes.
About the cost and things, but I'm fortunate I am able to do that and wanted to give it a try. So
yeah. Now you mentioned, I think it sounds like, if I'm following the timeline correctly, you did your canoe run bike. That sounds like maybe around when you were 40 or
yes.
Right around 40. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. And then after that, it was kind of just like 2 decades of working, raising your family, but not really focused on your fitness. Is that
right? And I got up to 250 pounds.
Okay, so you were at 250 when you joined KT.
Yeah, and just poor mobility. I had a knee that was really giving me trouble. I had been to the surgeon, and they're like, there's really nothing we can do other than a knee replacement. I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And then in 21, we had moved to this new house, or new for us, and I fell in the garage off the ladder and broke the olecranon, the funny bone. I broke it off. So I've got eight or nine screws in here and like a plate that wraps around. So coming into the program, talking to Ray, I said, I have some concerns. Like, can I even do this? So I was worried, but he's like, we can make changes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
And how's your knee now?
I would say most of the time it's pretty good. It still flares up.
Yeah.
Losing a bunch of weight helps. And it's weird, sometimes I think, oh, it'd be nice to take a few days off. You get a little sore after a week. But I've almost found that if I take too many days off, I mean, it helps me, to actually, I'll be sore during the day and I'll do my workout and I actually feel better after the
Yeah.
workout.
Yeah.
It helps keep the mobility. Probably not as big a deal for younger guys, but for me, I feel like doing the work keeps me moving and
Yeah.
I feel better actually. Usually after the workout, I'm like, I feel way better. Where I
Yeah.
came into it kind of sore. So
Isn't that weird? I mean, I'm the
it
same exact way.
is.
Sometimes it doesn't
Yeah.
seem intuitive. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to train. I don't feel real good. But then all of a sudden, like, you start training. It's like I remember being a pitcher when I was younger and like, oh man, my shoulder just does not feel good. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
after I get warmed up and my blood starts pumping, my body temperature rises up, I start to get some fluid into the joints. Like all of a
Yep.
sudden, oh, everything feels better. And then, so I think movement's the same way. It's like if you just kind of, I don't know if you're sitting a lot during your days, but if you're not moving a lot, your joints are kind of like stuck in one spot. Like probably what's making them ache is that there's no motion there.
I was, obviously as a dentist, we're mostly sitting a lot. And I think that's where I started to develop a lot of tightness in my hips and things.
Yeah.
Too much sitting.
Yeah.
So
when you joined KT, this was about a year and a half ago, and I think I heard you right saying that you were about 250 pounds at the time that you joined KT.
Yes.
Did you have like a low point or anything that like specifically happened that was like, okay, I need to find a program, or what was kind of like the time before leading up to you making the decision?
I think I just felt so tight in my hips. My knee was bugging me a lot. I did not want to do a knee replacement. I had tried some injections. They were not very helpful.
Mm.
And I think that all of that, I've got two little granddaughters too. And my cholesterol was getting up higher. I wasn't on blood pressure meds yet, but probably it was coming.
Mm.
So, I mean, there are just multiple things where, if I went to hooked up with Grant, maybe I'd still be lazy, but luckily I saw that and it just, I don't know.
Man, it's wild how stuff like
It's
that
a blessing. I mean, I feel very fortunate to have found it. I talk to other people about it and just tell them how great it is.
Well, they must see you. I mean, the people who knew you at 250 must see you and be like, dude, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Or what did you do? Maybe not what happened to you. Do people ever ask, like, I mean, this is something we've been hearing a lot recently, but do people ever ask if you did like Ozempic or any of the GLP-1 stuff? Or
I probably have had that question, and like I said, I had lost weight like 20 years ago. And I kind of started getting the same questions again. It's like people would say at work, like they'd say to my assistant, "Does he have cancer?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're like, because it's a big change.
Right.
They're like, "Is he okay?" They're like, "No, he did this on purpose."
Yeah. No, he's fit now. It's like, did you see his biceps?
Yeah.
Nice. So where are you at now compared to where you started from just like straight stats standpoint?
Well, I had gotten down to 190. Okay. It's weird. Like you guys guarantee like whatever, 25 pounds in 16 weeks. And I'm like, that'd be nice. 25 pounds. And, we're working with Ray and we got to there and I'm like, we can go further, because it was just doing the eating nutrition program with the workouts and the walking. It just kept coming off. And, so we just kept going and, I got to like 200 and I'm like, I think we can keep going. And so, yeah, we decided at 190 to stop. And I think I said to Ray right around Christmas time, like, I feel really kind of weak and skinny. Then we kind of changed up my macros and stuff to try to build some muscle back. And so, yeah.
That's why your arms
I mean, I would have never guessed I was going to lose that much. I thought, if I could get down to like 210, that'd be awesome, which would have been.
Yeah.
But I was probably still overweight at that, at that time.
Yeah.
So
I think
we just kept it going.
a lot of guys are in your same situation who are heavier, right? They don't maybe understand, or maybe they just don't like believe I actually could lose that much weight because they just see themselves
Right.
as like so far. Like you could have maybe
Yeah.
said, all right, probably at my height, my size, maybe 190 would be a healthy weight for me. But like,
Yeah.
man, am I ever going to be able to get there from 250?
Right.
Like if I'd just be happy if I was sub 220, like 210 would
Yeah.
be a dream. But then you do the work and you get to 225 and you're like, well, wait a minute, I can keep doing this. Like this is not really that hard. And I'm already doing it consistently. And that's when having someone like Ray be like, trust me, if you just keep doing what you're doing now, the weight's going to keep coming off. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Now, eventually you'll get to a point where you don't want to continue to lose weight.
Right.
But you're still probably, you're maybe only 50% of the way there. And so kudos to you for seeing that and understanding that and then saying, I'm going to keep going now. Because I think it was a full year that you went from 250 to 190, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So in 16 weeks, I think, if I remember correctly, I've read a Trustpilot review that you left that said you lost 32 pounds in 13 weeks, I think, right? You were down. I mean,
I don't remember the exact numbers, but initially it came off pretty fast.
Yeah. So you went from like 250 to like 220 in the first 16-week program. Is that?
I would say so. Yeah. Pretty close.
Yeah. Nice. And then you had another 30 pounds that you lost until you eventually said, all right, I'm ready to.
I think at the lowest, before we started adding calories, I got down to like, I weighed myself one morning, it was like 185.
Wow.
But I mean, like 190 was kind of our goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
nice. That's amazing. How do you feel getting 50 plus pounds off your frame?
Well, it feels good. You have a lot more energy. I'm stronger, obviously. You can't not get strong when you're using kettlebells. So yeah, like I said, my body feels better. I still have aches and pains.
You're
It's
human.
just part of it.
Yeah. That's great though. I mean, my dad had both knees replaced at the same time when he was 61, and I wish I would have known what to do with him, before that happened and been able to put him in a kettlebell program. And who knows, obviously some people
right
are just far gone and it's just no other path, but good for you for saying, there's got to be a different way potentially.
I was really worried about my shoulders too, because I've had rotator cuff surgery on this one, and the surgeon told me, and that was probably 12, 15 years ago, and he said, you have no cartilage in there. So I was worried about that too, but surprisingly, and I've seen some of the other guys that have done the program that have had shoulder issues or back problems and things like that, they actually improve. So I would say my shoulder issues have been minimal.
Really?
Just with the gradual progression and getting stronger and the movement, it's been really good.
Yeah, that's great. And where did you start with your swing and get up? Do you recall back to what weights you were initially using?
I think Ray pushed me to the 3 pounds on swings pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then get ups, probably what's the under the 35 pounder?
Probably
what's the next one down? I think I probably started there.
Yeah.
Well, obviously first it was body weight get ups.
Yeah.
And then, like a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning it. And then probably the 26. Yeah.
And what are you doing now?
Well, my PR is 32.
Amazing.
But my very heavy usually right now is like the 28 kilogram.
That's pretty badass.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I wish I could do more, but it seems like a very slow progression, and maybe some of it's my age too. But I see some of the young guys, man, they're doing 80, 90, 100-pound get-ups in a year. I'm like, holy mackerel, that is incredible.
Yeah. I think there's definitely an age factor. I think what I've seen is like guys over 55, like I don't think I've seen hardly any go above like the 36 kg. I honestly can't recall a guy over 55 who's done above 40 kg. I think there just seems to be some level of just like, you would have had to probably start a long time ago and already have that strength as a younger individual and then been able to carry it forward.
I wish
Plus,
I would
you
have
mentioned
found
the
it
elbow
20
thing, right?
years ago.
Yeah,
What?
right. And didn't you? I mean, if I can recall seeing one of your pictures, it seems like you can't fully extend that arm that you had the elbow issue with. Is that
Yeah, I lost, 4 or 5 degrees on extension and, both ways.
right? Right.
So it's a little like sometimes when I'm doing get ups, I'm relying a lot on that tricep to keep my arm straight because I can't
Yeah.
really get it all the way straight.
Right. That's definitely going to be a limiting factor for anyone at any age. Like
Yeah,
if you
like
can't
Ray
fully,
watched me do one of my get ups and he's like, "Oh, be careful of that arm." Kind of
yeah,
worries.
yeah. But man, I mean, to know that you've been able to go from just learning the movement to doing 70 pounds,
One
that's
of the things, one of your videos stuck with me though about guys trying to do PRs and trying to do your volume get ups first
mm,
and get those in before trying to move up. And I told Ray, I said, I'm not going to try to do anything bigger. I mean, the one time I did that, the 32, my son was home at Christmas, and I don't know, all of it. There was a period of time there. I was like, wow, I just feel like I'm getting stronger, like right now. And he was home, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have him spot me, and I'm going to give it a go. And I got it. And Ray was like, "Holy mackerel! I can't believe you did that." I said, "I didn't think it would come this quick," but I had talked to him like a week before and said, "I just feel like things are just coming together right now. Like I'm feeling really good." And it's weird how that comes and goes too.
yeah,
And I think you or Grant had talked about that too. Like, sometimes you just don't feel as strong. You feel really, you're struggling. And then other days you just got it.
yeah. You
So
got to
I'm
love those days where
sticking
you got
the 62 pounder that I want to own that one before I try to
it. Yeah.
get up anymore.
That's amazing. I love it's so true though. I mean, sometimes you just feel like, man,
Yeah.
these are feeling good, and I have weeks like that or even
Yeah.
months like that where I'm just like, man, I just have not felt
I have
strong.
months like that.
Yeah. I think that's normal. I think a lot of that is
Yeah.
probably seasonality too, of just like stress and there's so many
Yeah.
factors that go. I think what is important that you now know after the last year that a lot of guys just don't know is like you can't experience that unless you're consistently training throughout all of those phases and actually
Hmm.
feel like, oh wow, this actually doesn't feel as good as it felt a couple weeks ago. Or man, all of a sudden this bell that I couldn't even put over my head 2 weeks ago now feels light. I could do a double with this thing. Like you have to train consistently to
Right.
know that from
Yeah.
experience.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good learn. A lot of guys, if they don't feel good or feel weak, they just don't do anything. They just like, well, screw it, right? I don't feel good. I don't want to do it. And they don't. It's like, well, you should still do it. You should just go down and wait and
Right.
like be okay with that and then keep marching forward. So
Yep.
nice work on doing that. So what does your son say? Did he have anything to say about Pops getting freaking strong and putting heavy weight overhead?
He was interested. I think the money thing might be an issue for him, but he definitely was interested, and he was asking me questions for sure.
Yeah. What did he think just about you making such a kind of badass transformation at 60? I mean, did
I
he
mean, he doesn't say a whole lot, but I mean, I'm sure he
he
thought
knows
it was
though.
pretty cool. Yeah.
He knows. He
Yeah.
knows. I'd be like, Dad, you're a badass, man. I mean, it's cool. It's really
Yeah.
neat. I mean, I think it's just you're a perfect, not to lean on your age at all, but like you're a perfect example of, dude, if you just like do the work and commit to it, you can make a transformation. We've seen guys older than you get
Right.
badass transformations. Like you're a human
Yeah.
still. It's
Right.
not too far gone. You just got to put in the work consistently. And yeah, your progress, it may come slower and you may have
Yep.
a lower ceiling than if you were
Hmm.
40 and doing this, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You still have
Right.
really great results to go get.
Right.
If you put the
Yep.
work in. What do you think are the biggest, just like everyday differences that you feel now versus a year and a half ago?
Just more energy, more confidence in yourself, being able to go for a long walk and enjoy it.
Yeah. What about the granddaughters? Is it any different for you? I mean, I know we talked to a lot of
This is
dads.
funny. Like, so they were over the winter, and they'd be here on Monday, and they've seen me work out a little bit. And my one granddaughter, especially, she'll come over and she's like, "Grandpa, can we go work out?" And then we actually bought them these, like, they're not toy kettlebells, but they're like 5 pounds. And
Yeah.
she'll, like, at home, she'll like go sit on. They're both into gymnastics, but she'll go sit on the mat and get out her kettlebell. Mom, I'm going to work out.
That's
So yeah,
beautiful.
they love it. They'll come down and watch, and I'll I'll be doing exercises. They're sitting watching a movie, and Tilly's sitting there. She's like, "Come on, Grandpa, you got this one." It's
That's so
awesome.
lovely. That's really
Yeah.
good, man. That's good. My kids will imitate my breathing, as I'm
Yes.
doing my daughter will be doing the breathing at the same time as me. It's
Yeah.
cute, man. And it's like, I feel like you're never like, you got to do this. Like, this is what you're going to do, right? It's just like, I'm just going to keep showing. And
Hmm.
eventually well, I want to do that. Right. And that's where I'm like, okay, cool. Let's figure it out. But it's just setting the example, setting the tone. So nice, man. Good for you. What do you think what have been your challenges? Do you feel like you've had any like major roadblocks, or has it been like smooth sailing for you?
I would say overall, I mean, I haven't had any like serious injuries. I've had a few, back tweaks. I'd see a chiropractor, my knee, but it doesn't really stop me from doing anything for the most part. I would say it's been pretty smooth, with my shoulder history. I'm pretty careful. I don't try to I'm not like a 30-year-old and I'm trying to like muscle too much weight all the time. I take it pretty slow and try to, feel my body and how it feels and, try not to go crazy.
Yeah. But minor tweaks that you've just kind of,
It's been pretty minor. Yeah.
yeah, dealt with and stayed
And,
patient.
I make sure the animals are locked up, if I'm down there, because I
Smart.
saw one of the guys had a dog and he dropped 100-pound kettlebell on his hand and busted his
Dude.
wrist. And
Yeah. Like
so,
fun. True.
yeah, I mean, and I find like doing get ups, I'm like really concentrating. And
Yeah.
I don't even like anybody talking to me when I'm doing them. I just kind of get in a zone and
It's
yeah,
David's dojo. Don't come
yeah,
in here. But that's the beauty of get ups, in my opinion, is like you have to be very present, which is great because most
you
of the time
do.
we're distracted as shit anyway. So it's like having
Right.
something that you have to focus on that's also very good for you, that brings your body and mind together. I think it's really powerful. David, let me ask you this. Oh, shit, I lost my train of thought on what I was going to ask you. I had a good one set up for you. Oh, dang it. I remember. We'll cut this out. I wanted to ask you about specific around your nutrition, because obviously you've been able to drop quite a bit of weight, 50 plus pounds. What does
Mhm.
your day to day look like from a nutrition standpoint? Like, what are you doing for
Mm.
breakfast? What are you doing? What's your rhythm of eating? Or is it different every day?
My breakfasts are pretty consistent. I do either overnight oats or I'll make an oatmeal. Let's see, it's got oatmeal, Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein powder, maybe some chia seeds or hemp hearts, and a little whole milk. Mix it all together. Throw a little maple syrup in there, and yeah, maybe some
Oh my,
blueberries.
that sounds
But
good.
yeah, if I'm in a hurry, the overnight oats, I'll make a couple of those during the week, and they're just easy and quick.
Right. Okay, so that's breakfast. Then what are you doing throughout the rest of your day typically?
I usually try to cook a lot of chicken breasts. My wife and I'll cook up a whole bunch of them. Also, ground beef, ground turkey, like with taco seasoning. We'll do a lot of that. Some hamburgers, but not a lot. And then lots of vegetables. And my carbs are usually rice or sweet potatoes. That's kind of
Sounds like
we do
my
a lot of that. Yeah.
sounds like my diet. I mean, it's
And
simple,
I
right?
like it. I mean, I don't mind eating the same stuff. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a
But occasionally we'll have something special at work and we'll order food in and I don't stress too much about it. I mean, I try to eat pretty, watch what I'm doing, but I don't like stress too much. And I find like if I have a day like that, in another day or two, your weight's right back where it was. So I
yeah.
don't get too worried about it. Still got to
Was
live a
that
little bit.
was that how you were, like what got you to 250 then? I mean, were you eating like you just explained a year and a half
No,
ago? Okay, so what was
no.
different then?
Probably more snacky things, chips, crackers, probably more adult beverages than I should have. Just gets too easy sometimes. Yeah, just not eating good, nutritious food.
Hmm.
Because I went and had coffee this morning with a friend, and I'd say, like, I feel like now, like, I'm like consciously looking for food throughout the day to get up to the calorie level I want to get, but it's all, apples, maybe a protein bar here and there, but apples, maybe protein bar, good meat, vegetables, good carbs, and nothing really other than that. Where before you like snack on this and that, and you're getting a lot of calories with not much nutrition in it. And it just over time is not good.
Yeah. And do you still enjoy a adult beverage every now and then, or have you completely?
I do,
Yeah.
but
Good.
much less.
Yeah. Right. Man, I feel like what you just explained is like where I wish every guy could get to, which is yes, you do have to clean things up and you should be predominantly focused on eating good, healthy food. But certainly it doesn't have to be like I never go out with my wife to
Right.
dinner. Or when
Right.
people bring things to the office, I just like, nope, sorry, can't have that. It's like, it doesn't have to be like that as long as
Right.
that's not your everyday.
Right.
And like, you don't have to give up alcohol, but yeah, you probably shouldn't have 3 drinks every night. Like that's going to be a
Right.
problem, right? You can
Yes.
maybe have 1 drink every couple of nights, and then maybe 1 day a week, maybe you have 2 or 3 drinks, and that's okay. That won't
Yeah.
blow you up. But then what you said about like I'm consciously thinking about how am I going to get my food in. That's something I talked to a client of ours, Mike, yesterday, 55 years old, 56, I think. He's dropped 25, 26 pounds in the program. And he was saying the exact same thing. Like, I'm just much more conscientious about what I'm actually doing and like, where is my food actually going to come from throughout my day? And
Well,
that's
I think back of when I first started, you're like before the coach even introduces weighing your food and macros, and you're just using like palm size, you know, fist size for certain parts of your meal. And I was doing that in the beginning, and I wasn't hungry, even though I was in a calorie deficit. I wasn't feeling very hungry really because you're eating like good food,
right. Plenty of
and I
protein.
was dropping weight. So
Yeah, that feels good, right? That's kind of
it
like
does.
I mean, that, and what you said about snacking, I think a lot of guys, they don't realize, like, if you're snacking on processed foods, like you're going to feel hungry, even though you're consuming a ton of
Right.
calories because you're
Yeah.
not actually getting the nutrients your body needs. And if you're consuming a ton of empty calories, that's a real issue because your body's going to still get you to get the calories that you need from nutritious food. You're just also going to have hundreds
Right.
or even, you know, a thousand extra calories from just trash that
Yeah.
like, that's why you keep gaining weight year after year. And that's why your body feels so bad. And when you cut that stuff out and you replace it with healthy food, or maybe just cut it out altogether because it was just like in excess of other food that maybe you were still eating relatively good foods. You just also had a bunch of extra stuff and
Right.
maybe a bunch of extra alcohol, which I think a lot of guys, if they are willing to admit it, they're, a lot of guys I think are there. Once you get all that inflammatory stuff out, all of a sudden, oh, my knee doesn't hurt as much as it did.
Right.
Oh, I actually have way more energy to go train now, those are good things. Oh, I'm sleeping way better. And like, those are the
Yep.
side benefits of just like cleaning up your diet, which is not sexy, but you feel pretty good. So, man, you've gotten some really good results. So where do you go from here? What's exciting you these days about kettlebell training or about your health and fitness? Didn't you recently sell your practice or at least
I
sell part of it?
did.
So you're
Yeah.
kind of entering a new
My
phase, it seems like. You were a business owner for 30 years or
Yeah. Yep. So
so
yeah, I sold
what's going
my
on?
ownership in the practice, and I'm still working 3 days a week. So I mean, compared to a lot of the younger guys, that are on the road traveling and have kids at home, it's like they have way less time than me, so I'm fortunate that way. So the
Yeah.
training most of the time, unless I go on vacation, I'm able to get training in pretty easily. But I see some of the other guys that are on the road, and have like Ray 4 children. It's a lot more of a challenge to get workouts in.
Yeah. So what's up for you from like what are you excited about these days? Like, is it more travel retirement? Is it more continuing to work? Like I'm just genuinely curious. Like where are you going to take things now?
Well, eventually I'll be done working. I don't know when that's going to be yet. I haven't decided, but do more stuff at home. Like we make maple syrup here too. I think we did 8 gallons of syrup this year.
Amazing.
And we hoped my wife and I continue to do that and maybe increase it a little bit. It's a hobby more or less. We just give it away. We don't like sell it,
Really?
but it's just
So do you
something
like
to do in the
grow,
spring.
do you grow the
What's that?
trees on your property? Is that how you,
Oh no, there's just a lot of maple trees here already.
okay.
When we moved here, I had been helping some other guys do maple syrup for quite a few years, and then we moved here, and the previous owners had done some of this, and we thought, we should give that a try. And we've just slowly increased and got newer equipment to use and make it more
Cool.
fun. And
Yeah.
so we enjoy it.
Nice. And you must live in a place. I know there's a lot of lakes in Minnesota.
There are.
Are you a big outdoors guy? What kind of stuff are you into there?
We like going on the lake. We don't live on the lake,
Okay.
but we live right next to a lake, so it's very easy to get on the water. I like fishing. Actually, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. We're going up to the Rainy River, which is right on the Canadian border.
Cool.
Sturgeon fishing.
Oh yeah.
Lake
Nice,
sturgeon.
man.
They get big. And up there, the bigger ones are probably 70 to 75 inches long. But I mean, obviously, you don't catch a lot of those, but they can get that big.
But I mean, that
So
fish is like 6 feet tall. That's a
yeah,
large fish.
yeah,
So it's like your
over
size.
100 pounds.
Oh my goodness. That's fun.
So
How do
yeah,
you reel that thing in solo?
yeah. And then the guy I go with, he has all the stuff. He has like a cradle net that people use for muskies, and they can get it out of the water. And yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice. You can put a little handle on that thing and do a Turkish get up with it. Nice, man. Well, dude, I'm very impressed by your results. And I love just hearing that you kind of just like patiently executed the system. Just kind of bought in, and it sounds like it hasn't been this big stressful thing. You just made some tiny tweaks with your nutrition, and you just train consistently. And I'm guessing you walk a lot too. Is that
yes,
you've been pretty consistent with your steps?
yes,
Yeah, that's huge. Nice. And you've been able to do that with the knee?
yeah, yeah. It was a little tougher. The Winter Soldier Challenge
Yeah.
here, like when we get 20 below zero and things like that. I actually had to use our walking pad a little bit, but man, I tried to get out most days unless it was brutally cold,
Yeah.
which for most people it's all brutally cold here,
Right.
but I
So,
didn't miss any.
I mean, that's impressive given the season and the
Yeah.
goal. I think it was 10K a day, right?
Yeah.
For 12 weeks straight, or maybe that was our 6 week one. So I think 6 weeks. Either way, I mean, 10K a day is concerted effort to get out and
Yep.
walk more than you would typically walk, which is tough to do in the winter for sure.
Yes.
So what are you saying to maybe a guy who's your age, late 50s, 60, who is in the position that you were in or similar a year and a half ago, who's considering KT? What's your honest advice to a guy in that?
I would tell him go all in for sure. I think, of myself back then and being skeptical, knowing what I know now, if, even though you guys say there's a guarantee, you're always like, really? Well, of course they're going to say that. But knowing what I know now, it's like, if somebody could guarantee that success in 16 weeks and you knew it was going to happen, no doubts about it, it's like, do it. The investment to me is worth it. Like, what is your life and your health worth? I mean, you spend money on other stuff. It's like, yeah, it's a lot, but your health is way more important, and longevity. It's a no-brainer to me.
That's beautifully said. What do you think you were most skeptical about? What was like your main skepticism? Do you recall, like, going back to right before you joined?
Am I really going to lose that much weight? And probably some my physical abilities, shoulder issues,
Yeah.
I thought maybe I can't do this. I mean, I think I said that to Ray. I was like, I don't know if I can do some of this stuff. Like, maybe my body can't do it. And he was very like, hey, everything can be adjusted. So he's like, we
Man,
work around things and don't worry about it.
that's huge. I mean, I think a lot of guys come in with that second skepticism being the big one, is like, will I actually physically be able to do this? And knowing you're kind of, rotator cuff, elbow, knees, like, you still did it. And even if you couldn't have done the full workouts, that doesn't mean that you can't do as much as you can do and still do the nutrition and hopefully the steps. But even guys who can't walk because their knees are so bad or whatever reasons, like, you can still ride a stationary bike. Like, there's always a way for you to get significantly fitter. You just have to do it consistently. And good for you for getting in there and being like, I'm going to do it. And it's pretty cool, man. That's a great journey by you. Thank you genuinely for not just coming on the podcast, not just wearing the KT gear on the podcast, which fires me up, but also, I mentioned this at the start, man, you've just been always commenting on posts. Like, you're always in there welcoming the new guys. You're always in there cheering other guys on with PRs. And there's just something so, like, important about that. in my opinion. Like that cannot be overstated how crucial it is to have guys like you in the school group who are like, I see you, man, you're doing it. And so I just genuinely want to thank you because it means a lot, man. It really does.
Thanks.
So thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Schram. Thank you.
Welcome.
And thank you for taking time out of your Friday. I hope you have a great time fishing this weekend. And we also always give a chance for guys on the podcast, which I forgot to do with Mike, but he had already mentioned his coach. You mentioned Ray a few times. We like to give guys an opportunity, just, mention something to their coach or say something to their coach on the podcast, since Ray will listen. Do you have anything to say that you haven't already said to Ray in your one-on-ones?
I just really appreciate him. He's been very, very good. Like I said, about, when I was worried about being able to do stuff, he said, hey, it's no sweat. Don't worry about it. We can make changes. He's just made it very easy to do the work. And I appreciate him.
Nice. Easy to do the work. That's what a good coach is, right? Just like a facilitator of getting
Checks
things
in
out of
on
the way.
me, makes tweaks, if I need to, adjust something. And
Nice.
it's good.
Nice. Good stuff, man. Well, thanks again, dude. I really appreciate it. It's been fun chatting with you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Schram. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the school group.
You too.
All right, sir.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye.